The Beneficiary's Guide to Dynasty Trusts. If you're the beneficiary of a Dynasty Trust, you might not know what to expect. Dynasty trusts can be complicated legal structures, and it makes sense that you might be a bit confused. Let's take a quick look to try to understand what they are. What is a Dynasty Trust? A Dynasty Trust is a type of irrevocable trust created to pass wealth from generation to generation while minimizing taxes. As long as the assets remain in the Dynasty Trust, future generations likely won't have to pay estate taxes, gift taxes, or generation skipping transfer, or GST taxes. When establishing a Dynasty Trust, grantors can set whatever rules they want for how the trustee should manage the assets and distribute funds to beneficiaries. However, after the grantor funds the trust and it becomes irrevocable, they're not going to have any control over the trust property and will have restrictions on their ability to change the terms of the trust. What distinguishes Dynasty Trusts from other types of trusts is its duration, hence Dynasty. Most trusts cannot exist forever because of the rule against perpetuities, which we're not going to get into, but that terminates them automatically after a few generations. Fortunately, as perpetual trusts, Dynasty Trusts are carefully structured to avoid that rule. If you set up a Dynasty Trust correctly, it can remain intact for many, many generations, making it an essential estate planning tool for families with significant wealth. So how does a Dynasty Trust work? The rule against perpetuities puts a time limit on how long a trust can last after the death of the last potential beneficiary who was alive when the trust was created. Most commonly, that limitation was 21 years, but many states have either eliminated the rule entirely or extended it. Therefore, you can create a Dynasty Trust in a number of states. Grantors can design Dynasty Trusts to allow beneficiaries to have almost total control over the trust property. And in some circumstances, a beneficiary can be the sole trustee of a Dynasty Trust established for their benefit. However, it's important to note that as a beneficiary's ability to control trust property increases, the property becomes more likely available to that beneficiary's creditors. A grantor may also choose to establish a more restrictive Dynasty Trust and employ a professional trustee to prevent beneficiaries from abusing their family wealth. The possible control structures are numerous and can include sophisticated plans such as a family council that allows family input into the trust administration. What are the advantages of a Dynasty Trust? In addition to the obvious benefit of its duration, one of the primary advantages of a Dynasty Trust is the various types of tax relief offered. A well-planned Dynasty Trust can be used to avoid or defer state and local income tax in some situations. Additionally, the property that the grantor transfers to the Dynasty Trust and the appreciation value of that property can be permanently removed from the grantor's taxable estate, which provides even more tax relief. Another advantage offered by a Dynasty Trust is that where beneficiaries lack control over the trust property, it's not going to be counted in their estates either. Similarly, because the trust owns the Dynasty Trust assets and not the beneficiaries, a beneficiary's creditors usually can't go after the trust property to account for the beneficiary's debts. As long as the assets remain in the trust and the beneficiaries don't have control over directing those distributions, their creditors are going to have difficulty getting at those assets in all but a few limited circumstances. What are the disadvantages of a Dynasty Trust? There are some disadvantages of a Dynasty Trust. First, because Dynasty Trusts are irrevocable, neither you nor your beneficiaries can alter the terms of the trust if family or financial circumstances change. Absent court intervention, of course. Because Dynasty Trusts are designed to last for generations, this means that you'll have to guess or hypothecate about what will be beneficial for your descendants decades or even longer into the future. As with all irrevocable trusts, the property you transfer to a Dynasty Trust may incur gift taxes if above the exemption amount. You can usually avoid the imposition of a gift tax by limiting your transfers to the amount of your remaining lifetime gift tax exemption. A gift to a Dynasty Trust may also be subject to GST tax. However, since the lifetime exemption from GST tax is generally equal to or greater than the gift tax exemption, if you limit your transfers to avoid gift tax, you'll likely also avoid GST tax. Additionally, income taxes still apply to assets in a dynasty trust. All of these issues should be gone over with your CPA or a tax attorney. Which states allow dynasty trusts? Some states have allowed dynasty trusts by enacting an opt-out for the rule against perpetuities or making some other change to the rule against perpetuities. What if I'm not getting my dynasty trust distributions? When you get your dynasty trust distributions, depends on the specific terms of the trust. Suppose you're a beneficiary of a dynasty trust and you're entitled to receive money under the trust. In that case, the trustee is required to give you your money. While trustees often are given various levels of discretion, their authority is usually limited to some extent. Beneficiaries who do not receive the distributions they're entitled to, based on the terms of a dynasty trust, can take legal action against that trustee to recover what's owed to them, and perhaps even have the trustee suspended, removed, or surcharged for breaching their fiduciary duty. When should I contact a dynasty trust lawyer? If you're the beneficiary of a dynasty trust and you're not receiving your proper distributions, or if you're interested in creating your own dynasty trust, you should consult with a dynasty trust lawyer. Because dynasty trusts must be correctly structured to avoid the rule against perpetuities and trust tax laws are complicated, you should seek an experienced attorney's assistance versus trying to manage a complex situation like this on your own. Have questions? We help people like you every day. Give us a call, shoot us an email. Thanks for watching.